Libra or Scorpio. So if you don't know it, then come that time you could be joining both my Libra and maybe there'll possibly be a Scorpio Clubus. We'll do a couple of things for that, but we won't do, whole time for that. Now, I'm going to be using the stand. I want all of you out of the room and go do something else because Cancer Clubus will go on right about now. Okay? So I'm going to move this little heel. This is in the art. This is in the art. Okay. So now, Cancer Clubus. I'm going to go grab the book for that, and then we're going to be starting it up. Okay, so. And then you're staying in the And then you and Zach will have some social time later to get to know each other. This dimension is just exactly like that. Okay, now, give me just a second. I have to, get my, book. Because the introduction section, we're not going to be doing a whole time for that. It's just the reading and everything for that. I know what you're all thinking. I'm thinking the same thing, okay? But this is what we're doing. Alright. Okay, everyone. So, I've got this. I've got the book. Now we can begin. Okay, and if I knew where, that's Abby. If I knew where your picture was, I would move it up, but I don't know where it is. That's another one. Jill Vernon. Down nail. I could have sworn I had it somewhere. Did I put it away with something? I really didn't know. Ooh. Oh. Ta-da. Here it is. And we're going to hang it up. I know. I am very busy with the other dimension. Yes, I know. There's always a time. At the honorary time. It's very critical at the honorary time that the most things happen during that time, because most advantage need to be taken. Okay. So, let's see here. Alright. Now, is this even tight enough? Should I get it a little bit tighter? I don't know. Ooh. Wonder if something's coming undone. Okay. So, without loosening it, okay. So it's important because that thing comes undone so easily. Okay, that'll have to do. Okay, now Cancer. So, let's see where we left off here. So we were talking about just the astrology part of Cancer. Okay? Just the astrology of Cancer. So, we were reading about that, okay? I'm reading about that. so we were reading about that, the astrology portion of it, okay? I think that I should write a couple things down that we're mainly doing. I really think that it would be a good idea if I did that. But so I'll get to it. So we talked about the symbol for Cancer. We talked about all of those little symbolic words, and also encompassing the themes for what we're looking for. Okay. So we talked about the crab. Okay. We talked about the symbolism of a crab. Remember, it's between the land and the water. It's on the shore. And the tide represents all that's, trying to disturb and trying to hurt and frighten Cancer's, coochie environment. And we talked about the Cancer represented by the crab wears a hard shell. I know. It's taking over the room. I know. It is. Well, I printed out like 5 or 6, so I wanted to take advantage. And this is not all. I have, 2 more. Yeah. I certainly did that. So hard shell, but soft and squishy and yummy inside. And it, I remember we talked about it, it holds on. It holds tight to somebody. Very, very preciously, and it's incredibly loyal when you can become friends with Cancer, because it's a little bit difficult. But Venus, in Taurus is, really the other way around, because, it's, immediately you make, friends with a lot of Taurus individuals. They're very, very, very good friends. Not that I have one, but I do have actually a friend who is a Virgo sun, and it's definitely very, very fun to be around. I'm a little bit surprised, by the way, about that. But so anyway, let's see here. So has you, and it never lets go. Actually, yep, I know what I'm going to do because I can feel it warming up. I know what I'm saying. So, door open. Okay. Just to let the fresh air in. Okay. So, we talked about the cardinal signs. Okay, remember cardinal represents control, fresh starts, get up and go. And so let's see, the cardinal signs start the season off. Cancer is cardinal water. And remember that water, I think, is a solute, whatever, that dissolves everything. So we talked about the Cancer ruling planet, which is another symbol of Cancer, which is on the moon, as we talked about. So the moon is responsible for the powerful waves that crash around you when you get to the ocean. It's responsible for we already read about that. Cycles, change of shape, warming and cooling. Luminous represents soft emotions. Let's see. And so, it's out at night, as we talked about. And so, let's see. The moon is a site of colonization and a place to go after, say, we've been invaded by aliens or something. And so we also talked about Cancer having to do with cultural colonization. Everyone's settling down and creating, families, communities, villages, all of those things. and consumption, eating, buying, consuming, and consumerism, consumption and consumerism, both taking or both buying or both eating, both linked. So, let's see. Now, Deborah Silverman has a video, and maybe we could play it, that she made just yesterday, and it was on the 4th of July solar eclipse.
So
Let's see.
All of us that just longs for connection and
I don't know why that started playing all of a sudden. Okay, now I need to. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I don't know why that random video started, but I just want you to hear this little video because I just remembered seeing it. So she's going to talk about the 4th of July eclipse and also the birth of America and tying the Cancer to America. So that's what we're going to be watching, the short little video that she made about. She just made it, and she's sitting in like her house or somewhere doing it. But so let's see here. Let's go up here and go to the search engine and Deborah Silverman Astrology. This is what we want. Okay, so 4th of July eclipse is the video that we're going to be watching. Okay, and this is not a very long video at all. Okay, this is just a short little thing here. Okay, let's see. Let's get that thing here. Okay, here we go. Alright. So, now, we're going to be doing the same thing that we just did. I'm going to move the computer over here so that all of you can see it. And I'm going to be stealing this castle, but you can certainly get one of those chairs if you want from the table. Okay. So, let's see here. So this is not going to take very, very long at all. And I think that maybe I should, so that all of you can see, sit a little bit this way so that you have room, and I think... So, does that look good to everyone? If I sit here, then can we all... I'm going to use the words coochie and try to see this. Yes, I said that I would be using that word a lot. And that's not the last you're going to hear of it. So, let's see here. Okay, we can barely see. Okay, whoa. Now I need to turn that thing on again. Okay, it should come directly on to the thing. Okay, so that will be good. Okay, I think... Good grief. Okay, trying to make this centered so that we can all see what we're looking at. Okay, 4th of July eclipse. We're going to just see this little video about it. If I can. Oh, come on. This is ridiculous. Okay.
You guys, it's a really important moment. There's an eclipse coming up, and as an astrologer, I wanted to share with you how to use an eclipse. Because it's been said that eclipses are really important days to be remembered. It's no coincidence that Einstein developed the theory of relativity on an eclipse. He changed science. 1919, a total solar eclipse. Sir Arthur Eddington performs the first experimental test of Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity. Those findings made Einstein a celebrity overnight. Eclipses happen in a series. Up to 3 eclipses can happen during an eclipse season. It's a 2-month period happening throughout the year. Well, we're having a significant eclipse on what date? July 4th, 2020, the United States of America's birthday. I'm going to talk about America as a woman. Let's decide together what America's birthday is going to look like, because it's a potential day when you can have an intention. That's the whole point of an eclipse.
Okay.
It's the last of the series, and it takes place in the sign of Cancer. I cannot think of the sign Cancer and not think of warm fuzzy, of love, of cuddling, of kindness, of tenderness. Let me digress. I was deeply touched yesterday when my neighbor called to say that his mom, Barbara, who coincidentally is a Cancer, instructed her husband to call hospice. And so began the softening of all our hearts, because as soon as you say the word hospice, you know that things are changing. I'm speaking about Barbara because she's the quintessential Cancer. All the kids in the neighborhood went to her house at all hours for years. Her fridge was full, her door was always opened, the scent of homemade food was floating out of her windows, and I figured out why the kids loved hanging there so much. When I was in a really vulnerable time, I don't know how she noticed, she pulled me aside with a teacup in hand, we went into her messy kitchen, held hands, and I thought, I really get this person. I get Cancer. Barbara's like America, the one whose flag we pray to, the land our home is on. Regardless of our politics, she's the same mom for all of us. I'm not talking about government. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about the land of America and how majestic and beautiful she is. America's born with Jupiter, the biggest planet in the heavens, sitting on her sun. And she's Sag rising, that amplifies, echoes that. And she has Moon in Aquarius. She's this open-hearted being that accepts everyone. But she's getting tired, and she's not well, and she really needs our help. This year, America's birthday is happening on an eclipse. You don't have to be Einstein to know that America's suffering. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that Barbara's days are numbered. Mercury is going retrograde, which means stop, pause, take a break. The stars are screaming at us. Slow down. We know Barbara's going to leave us. May her memory be a blessing. We know Einstein left behind brilliance. What we don't know is how America's legacy will go. It's a vulnerable time. So can I ask you, during this eclipse, to stop on her birthday and remember her essence? America the beautiful? Yes, she's had a sordid past. Yes, she's flawed, you bet. But if we can just remember for this moment the quality of our appreciation to live in a land of freedom, we can be soft and forgiving and kind in her honor. Let's remember on this eclipse to have an intention. There's so much to be angry and sad and confused about. Life is short. 2020 seems to be going on forever. Will we get through this troublesome time? Let's use July 4th as a marker to stop, say happy birthday, and let this year be filled with kindness and forgiveness. Mom, happy birthday from your astrological daughter, who adores you and just wanted our whole family to stop and say happy birthday. We are so grateful for you.
Okay, that's good. So you see the 4 elements: air, water, fire, earth. Okay, so that is all that I have. I can go back. So I found that there was some good information. So it talks about kind of the history behind it of Albert Einstein, and also, but mainly the thing about July 4th is, the day, and I'm going to get into a little bit of history with this when we come back to main com. So, on the day, I found that there was some good information in there. I'm just going to kind of review it and add in a couple more things. On the day of July 4th, you obviously know on the 4th of July, on the fireworks display, flag cakes, getting together with families, and talking and connecting and bonding and all those things are very, very Cancerian. But the whole thing about coochie cuddles and all that kind of thing is more for wintertime. In American history, obviously, our history started out with the Native Americans who came here, and other people groups as well, and who were native to the land. And then we had the Europeans come up here bringing their ideas and their religions and everything and their foods, and then kind of like cross-cultural things like I'm going on there. And the Europeans, as you know, settled the land because they, it was the New World, and at that time, age of exploration, they wanted, they wanted to be rich, and they wanted to settle and do all those things. There's a lot of discrimination against the European and Native American races. Things like the Middle Passage. You can set it up on where there was like a triangular trade kind of thing with Africa. African slaves, and then spices, and then all of those things. So we had the Europeans come here, and they settled, and we got that. Then we had the colonies, which they created the colonies of America, and then began the protests. Then we really found our American skin and voice. Because then there were all these protests like the Boston Tea Party or the Stamp Act, the Battle of Bunker Hill, all those types of things. And in Just Add Magic, if you see Season 1, Episode 2, even though it's not focused on the Revolutionary War, it does, that is part of it. Okay, so in time, the colonies, really went against, the British and the rules that they were enforcing, and so therefore began the Revolutionary War. And that was the war between the Patriots, us, and the British, and they were far more powerful. They had, huge, really big, high-tech, very well-trained armies. And the reason why they were fighting is because they were taking orders from the king. Mind and heart over action. Because we were weaker than them. We didn't have as much as they did. We were outnumbered. We were inexperienced at fighting, but our hearts and our minds were determined, courageous on a mission to defeat the British and ultimately have our own country, independent country, with our own flag and own government and everything of America. And it was rough under really, really tough conditions and everything, but we won. And then on July 1st, there went America's birthday. And a really, really important document at the time, the revolutionary document of the time period, and I'm just giving you the overview of it, and you can go in and look at the history of all of that, was the Declaration of Independence. And that, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and everything, and that was our philosophies and our rules, demands, our country's orders, Thomas Jefferson and George Washington, everything written out and documented. If you go to Washington, D.C., then you can find that document there, that's that. Now, the next thing is what she was talking about. So, she was talking about how the woman of America has Sun in Cancer, Moon in Aquarius, rising Sag. So I'm just going to talk about that little configuration because she just talked about it just a little bit. So Sun in Cancer, is very emotional and sensitive, but Sun in Cancer is about cuddles. It's about love. It's about as I said, emotion. It's about nourishment. It's about family. It's about giving. It's about home. All those things. The moon in Aquarius is very, very, it's very airy. It's very talkative. It's very idealistic, innovative, rebellious. And indeed, we have a belief that, as a meerkat, bigger is better. So, bigger is better. Yeah. So, open minds and hearts, loving family, friends, all those types of things. With that moon in Aquarius wanting to do all these ideas that are out of the box. And just very, very, just fascinated, and open to everyone. And just goes, just goes in all different directions. We have a belief as Americans that it goes better. So, especially Guy Fieri. Sagittarius rising, I think that I, myself, have that. I think that I have Sagittarius rising. And I also probably have Pluto in the sign of Sagittarius. So, so Sagittarius rising, is all about, represents somebody who is very, the rising represents the soul that's already there, expansion, manifestation, higher learning, philosophy, travel, freedom, adventure, okay? Yeah, so that is what that video was about. I hope that you found that very, very interesting. And now we're going to be moving on to that little, and we're going to be finishing this up here, okay? So, we have a couple pages to get through yet. Let's see here. So, so back to the book, everyone. So actually, you can turn to page 15, okay, 15, page 15, please, okay, all right, okay, well, I hope not, okay, let's see here, so, Cancer also represents security and safety. So remember, the Cancer Capricorn. Cancer is opposite Capricorn. Cancer is the what? The, talking about the person, mother, and Capricorn is the father. Wonderful, yeah? And Mother's Day is approaching next month, in July. So we're going to pay homage and tribute to that on Mother's Day, on July 10th. That's Mother's Day, July 10th. Okay, so that's still a couple days, okay? So, let's see here. So, on the next page, so, actually on the next paragraph, so in the Thema Mundi, which is a theological chart that was used as an educational tool to learn about astrological concepts symbolizing the beginning of the world, Cancer is on the rising sign. Cancer risings, love and family, things. The birth of the universe has a Cancerian face. Thus, Cancer is connected to the beginning of all things. Cancer is the origin. So now it's going to be talking about Harry Potter. I have something to confess. I have never read any of the books. But I'll tell you one thing. I have seen all of the movies more than once. I've never read any of the books. I have a couple of the books. I have like the first 3 books in my shelf, but so it says the Harry Potter character with a Cancer sun. The Harry Potter character with a Pisces sun is Ronald. Virgo's sun is Hermione Granger. And I would say cusp of Cancer and Leo, but mostly Leo is Harry Potter. But definitely having Cancerian influence in him. So Cancer Sun is Dudley. Dudley Dursley. So I think that Dudley is that, and if you remember seeing the movie Harry Potter, that Dudley is, that kid that was a little bit, heavy set, I want to say, in the house that Harry Potter was living in prior to going to Hogwarts. And he was spoiled brat, and he is a Cancer Sun, but he doesn't act like it. He does not act like it. I would say he is an Aries Sun. I would say he's an, someone with a Cancer Sun has to act like it. Someone with a Leo Sun has to act like it, even in the smallest way. And how he is acting is not very Cancer. He is, bossy, very, very demanding, spoiled, and that's not what Cancer is about. I can tell you that for one thing. So no. Ignore what it says about Dudley is a Cancer Sun. Dudley is an Aries Sun because he's very, a little bit self-centered, a little bit, kind of pushy, a little bit, demanding in some ways, which is a good thing, because I am one and I love my sun sign. But there's a low road and a high road. Let's see. So Dudley is the narrative of Harry Potter, represents the child who overcomes the prejudice of the parents, the prejudice of the parents, like the negatives in the family conflict. Also very Cancerian. In the beginning of the story, he is clearly insecure and defined only by his family values, family importance. By the end of the books, his Harry is a small and heartwarming symbol of nurturing, taking care of you, and caregiving in the form of a teacup left outside his door. Despite said insecurity, in this we learn that Cancer's movements are not flamboyant. Cancer is certainly not a flamboyant sun. Kathy Stein, who is one of the mentioned guests, and one of the mentioned people of this mention now, after their honorary time is over, they become, a mentioned person, officially, and a staff member, maybe.